Great, thank you everyone for attending and the European Coastal Partnership for arranging this. So basically we have heard until now about the regional marine planning and the national marine planning, but I think it's very important as well to see what is the step before getting there. The Scottish East Coast Review, or otherwise SECOR, it's a European Maritime and Fisheries funded project, now coordinated from Marine Scotland actually due to our Brexit. And it is a partnership between the Fourth Estuary Forum, who is the leading partner in this project, is Grampian Coastal Partnership, Moray Firth Coastal Partnership, and also the Estuary Forum. Basically, these four local coastal partnerships, they cover all east coast of Scotland, except the part of the Berwickshire and Northumberland Partnership, which will be included as the marine region within the scope of this project. What is the basic aim of this project is to create, to collect all information that are available and also the data gaps that are relevant to the East Coast, and to communicate the current state and the future sustainability of the coast for the local coastal partnerships. This will drive us to create, as a deliverable, a digital report, which we will call Sustainable Coast Report, and will be a tool in the baseline of their regional marine planning. During this project, of course, we want to make sure that we will have the most updated and lower scale information, which those will be the more appropriate for them to use, to identify any data gaps, any key issues that they should be aware of to take into account. And of course, a big part of that would be stakeholder engagement for their support, but also to understand which are their needs, which of course will be one of the key organizations that they will need to engage later with the coastal partnerships for the regional marine planning. Now, the Sustainable Coast Report is going to be the main deliverable of our project. The project finishes in March 2023. As mentioned before from Ian, it was actually the grant firstly ready in 2019. Unfortunately, due to COVID and other circumstances, there was a delay in actually starting the project. So in total, it is about 2 years project with final date March 23. The report that we are producing, it will be based on indicators approach. So that means that we want to make sure that we will communicate for our local coastal partnerships and their stakeholders all information in a quantitative facts approach. For instance, we will make sure that we divide information in status indicators, pressures indicators, and also impact indicators. In this way, we'll give the opportunity for the readers to understand what is the current state, what are the future pressures, the key issues of each of the topics that are relevant to the East Coast of Scotland, and also to understand the measurable facts and to understand the trends, and also to be able to see any difference for the future. The report will be divided in different sections that have to do with the governmental part, factors that have to do with, for instance, legislation and policy or marine protected areas. We will have also natural environment it will be divided into species and habitats, for instance, coastal landscapes and habitats, or sea mammals. We also have, we will include in the report pressures, which are extremely important, and somehow we do believe that it is an added value within this report. The pressures will be topics that have to do with pressures on our coast, which is litter, eutrophication, etc., that will actually provide more into-depth existing information of what pressure they create and what are the impacts in our cost. Usually, until now, what we have seen in other reviews, we are identifying only a list of pressures or impacts. We don't really understand further what that pressure means, how it is impacted and how much. And this is quite very important information to be able to make a plan. And of course, we are talking about sustainability, so we need to make sure that within all this we'll include also information about the socioeconomic factors of the cost. So basically anything that has to do with the cost, affected by the cost, affecting the cost, everything, we will try to include it within the report. They will be divided, of course, in topic chapters according to their relevance, and each of the chapters will be divided into subjects. Now, more specifically, what the topic chapters will include and how is the process that we are following to create a topic chapter that will make sure that we include all information. It will have the flow that it needs and will be helpful for the local coastal partnerships and their stakeholders, is that we're trying to always identify all existing information for each of the topics and their subjects. We are requesting getting in touch with those organizations that they hold information to identify if they have more updated information, higher resolution, new information that we were not aware of or they are not published yet, especially if they are lower scale that can actually make impact in the planning of the partners. Of course, have advice from expert organizations. We do have a very skillful team, but it is difficult for 20-25 topic chapters that we want to include in our report to have expertise in everything. So we do request from organizations that have expertise in some of the topics or their subjects to advise us in what is important that topic chapter to include, what are the key problems that they face, any significant information or data gaps that they are aware of, or even mitigation plans that we need to incorporate in the report. After that, our project officers will make sure that we incorporate all the information, the advice from the expert organizations, and of course the needs, the input of the local coastal partnerships, and compose the topic chapter. And after that, we'll have a consultation, a review, a feedback from the expert organizations to make sure that everything is properly written, there are no mistakes, and we will create a tool that it will make an impact. And in this way, we will manage to complete each of the topic chapters, combine them, and provide a digital sustainable cost report, which will be mainly as a tool for the local coastal partners, but also open publicly online for stakeholders and the public general. Now, the project is running already about a year and a half. We have only 6 months ahead of us, a lot of work to be done. Most of the part of the work that we have done until now was basically into planning. We have done many mistakes, and this is a lesson learned, also very important. After managing to identify what are the needs and assessing now, maybe about, 2 years after the first grant application in 2019, to make sure that the local coastal partners have the same needs and plan properly. We did create a prototype of some topic chapters, a variety of pressures or species or habitats, socioeconomic, to see how we will have some prototype examples to work with as an example, to learn some lessons and involve through them, and of course to ask advice and consultation from the local coastal partnerships to see if this is actually helpful for them and from expert organizations. After doing this phase of the project, we are in the process and we have done a lot of assessment from the lessons learned. We have involved our thinking and our structure of the main deliverable of the project, which is the report. And we have already started working in involved thinking about how we should proceed from now on in the next topic chapters. And of course, with the final step reaching to have a refined, combined, sustainable cost review in only a few months. Now, I mentioned earlier that very important action and for the project and for us to make sure that we have the advice we need, the consultation and expert opinion, is to engage with stakeholders. These are only few of the stakeholders that have already worked with us, or we are already arranging collaboration. Most of them have helped us with providing advice, letting us know what is important to make sure that we'll include as information that is important to be mentioned for future marine planning. Or they have provided us information and also even comments from in the work that we have already done, which was extremely helpful. We are really thankful for that. Not only for the support in the project in general, but making sure that we have, it's like a bigger partnership, this project. It is going to be a tool not only to the local coastal partnerships, but also to you. So it is really helpful to have you with us in it. Again, these are only the few organizations. We do have some with us already here today. Again, thank you for that. Some other actions during our Scottish East Coast Review project are liaison with international organizations and also with national organizations. So basically, we do have some ideas, but there is no parthenogenesis everywhere, unfortunately. So we have followed many examples. One of them, and the national example, it is from the Maurice Foundation. It is the Baltic Sea report, which holds information about the state based on indicators about the Baltic Sea. Ian Hay will later focus on the learning lessons from that collaboration. And of course, from the at the national level, with Clyde, Solway, and other reviews, even from previous year, we are making sure that we are identifying those. We are making sure that we are learning from their lessons learned report, having meetings, even the smallest thing like how to communicate visually and information are really helpful examples. We do also have, as an action, to have workshops. We will have later today one that it would be really great to join us. And of course, another, not so much action, but something that we want to make sure that it will happen during this project is to embrace citizen science. Now, how can you help? So I did mention that we do want the stakeholders to be partner of this project. It's extremely important for us. It will be a tool for you as well. One step, of course, that can happen today is to join us in our workshop. And other ways, of course, are if you have any information as an organization that is related to the East Coast of Scotland, please get in touch with us, me or Jessica Jones, our Senior Project Officer, who is today with us. Or just visit our website. You can scan the QR code as well. Make us aware if you know any data gaps and why it's important for them to fill. Inform us about any citizen science work you are aware of. Introduce us to other stakeholders that possibly you think would be interested and fit in this project. And of course, let us know as a stakeholder if there is any need of information that it would be helpful for you to know, and why. We will try to see if we can identify that, or at least make sure that we note it as a data gap and potentially be at a research point or a future step after SICOR. That's all for me. I think questions we will have time later, or you can find me and Jessica. And that's all. Thank you so much.